All right, y'all, we're back with another paid review. This time we are reviewing chapter 1 of Biomega. If you would like your own paid review, whether it's your own story or the story of somebody else, it is still $35 for a chapter that is 60 pages or shorter. So if you do want your own review, it's $35. And you know that we go deep here at the coffee show, right? We don't just look at the surface level of things, we look deeper. So I remember a time when a lot of people spoke about blame, and I had checked out a few pages of blame, and at the time it was a bit too dark and dingy for me. So I gave it a pass. And it kind of reminded me of when I gave Berserk a pass at the time when life was, you know, good and whatnot, and I was a normie. So I felt like Berserk was too dark, and I felt no need to have a look at it. Now I am reading Biomega because somebody made a request, and I'm glad that they brought it to my attention because it really is relevant today. And this thing was produced in the early 2000s or early 90s or late 90s. And I got to say, it is peak science fiction. Like hardcore, pure science fiction. Basically, so far, the story, since this is just chapter 1, it's about this synthetic human being who is out here trying to save this girl who is an accommodator of a certain virus, right? Humanity is pretty much long dead for what it used to be. The year is 3005, and the earth is totally jacked up. It's a proper dystopian nightmare. Now, I look at this and I'm like, yeah, this is relevant to today because currently, though mechanically things are still functioning in our world, we are all experiencing a collective sense of doom in the air, right? We're all treading on the idea of doomsday being near us. You have people calling themselves doomers, right? You got doom maxing people out here, and there's always been, particularly in America, people who were doom maxing for real, preparing for the apocalypse or the purge. Now, this taking place 1,000 years from now, honestly, what I see here could happen a lot sooner. It is already taking place here in our day and age, not in the mechanical sense, not in the physical sense, not to that level, but definitely in the spiritual sense. And I have been reading quite a few books or skimming through them about a lot of authors talking about, particularly in the 20th century, talking about the influence of the machine and how it's actually going to mess up humanity. And now we have a hero here who's not actually fully human. Also reminds me of Blade Runner. So when it comes to the four ingredients of coffee comics, right? What makes a story great? Is it relatable? Is it familiar? Is it hopeful? Is it inspiring? Well, it's too early to judge on inspiring. Relatability, well, if you are still fighting the good fight and you wish to preserve what is left, indeed it's relatable. Because mechanically, once again, the world is not in pitch black darkness, but spiritually it is. And indeed, I am fighting to keep the light and the flame going, right? So I can relate on that end. Familiarity, definitely any sci-fi fan can relate to this, and I already compared it to Blade Runner. In terms of it being hopeful, I can't say for now. Honestly, it seems like a hopeless endeavor thus far, but I think it's worth reading till the end. Honestly, I'm very much so intrigued, and the wonderful use of that contrast in each page is awesome. So let's get right into it. So man, the art is just great, bro. Like, it's so great. It's not that amazing, but it's so it's so immersive, you know. But anyway, the year is 3005 AD. Mankind successfully completes its first manned flight to Mars in 7 centuries. Now, this is important for me because there was once a book I did read, but I also had a similar thought to that book about if humans as Mars, as Elon Musk is trying to do, right, go to Mars, most likely the people who are born in Mars, the generation, 2 generations into Mars, probably gonna run out of resources and they're gonna wanna come back home. And because they'll have more sophisticated weapons than us, they'll probably want to take over the Earth. Now, that's not the plot of this, but it is a nice idea that they are playing with, right? So, mankind completes its first manned flight to Mars in 700 years. This alluding to how humans forget their own abilities to do something, information being lost, currently in our world, information being lost despite these massive databases, right? But it's a database of convenience, not a database of truth. And this is how we're going to lose that information. So we have these humans who are wearing some space suits because they can't breathe the atmosphere. And man, just look how dark and dingy it is. There's a giant ash cloud, like engulfing the entire planet, no sunlight whatsoever. I gotta say that the sense of scale in this manga is so well done, bro. It's so well done. The mechanical aspects of the environments, you can feel them. You can feel the coldness of the steel. And no doubt about it, it is intentional. That's why I said it's hella immersive. So it looks like the current Earth does not have breathable atmosphere, right? So these humans are here to salvage a few things, and then they encounter what seems to be a human, but probably a synthetic human because she is not wearing a mask to breathe. So 6 months later, we see a giant bridge from, I don't know what country this is, going across the entire Pacific Ocean. And we got this dude traveling at 666 miles per hour, right? That's really fast. And we know that number is not just for show, right? And he is going to this massive hive city. Now, if you've read, and nobody, I don't know anyone who's read it, but if you know Warhammer 40,000, it speaks a lot about humans living in hive cities, where a hive city can populate literally an entire planet of humans. So we're talking about billions of people living in one city. And these types of cities were built to protect humans, of course, from not only the elements that became worse as time went forward because, resource extraction, but also from the aliens. So in the context of this, well, it is a hive city. Population count, we don't know. And what they are protecting themselves from, most likely from aliens as well, and intergalactic Martian attacks here and there. So once again, sense of scale is just brilliant, bro. And the establishing shots are just done so well. The artist Nihei, this is what puzzles me. Nihei's new manga is some medieval manga about climbing towers and going into dungeons, and the art is just pop and place, bro. I'm like, what the hell is this guy doing? But you know what? Funny, right? I considered going primal. I considered simplifying my own work because I don't have enough spirit energy to create detailed art anymore, right? I'm trying to reclaim it, right? I'm trying to find my spirit energy again, right? It's scattered across the entire earth the same way Gon lost his Nen. So I'm trying to find my Nen, right? But Nihei, I don't know why he believes he had to lose his Nen, in which now he just is drawing his manga the way it is. I have no idea why. In fact, let's go to show you exactly what I'm talking about, because His other works should be here. Not recommendations, man. Where is Nihei's other stuff? I can't even click on his name, and I don't know the name of his other manga, like the tower thing. Oh, here it is. So you can see exactly what I'm talking about. Tower Dungeon. Like, honestly, this thing is so juvenile. What? It's in Hebrew? Oh no. Let's look at the Hebrew version. Alright, this is the same guy. The same guy who drew this is the same guy who's drawing this right now. Now, if I were to simplify my stuff to this degree, people are going to say, haha, you see, you can't draw at all. But anyway, since he's like a legend and whatnot, it's perfectly fine and okay, and people are still going to buy his stuff. But anyway, I don't know why he chose to simplify his stuff to this degree. Honestly, this is not it, bro. This is not it. I'm not in favor of this whatsoever. This is like sloppy work to the utmost. I mean, look at this. Look at this. I'm going to simplify my stuff, but I'm not going to do it to this degree. This is something I cannot be proud of. I can't be proud of this. But anyway, so he really took his time back in the day, but you know what? Maybe he felt that he doesn't have enough spirit energy also. His will to create still exists, but the spirit energy that would propel his pen to execute levels of detail like this is just no longer there. On that part, if that's truly what he went through, I understand completely, right? So the character arrives at the Hive City and he discloses his identity, that he's from the TOA heavy industry sent here to purge, the infested or the infected inside, right? And so they open the gate for him, and we get to see what's inside the city and how it's set up. Looks like multiple apartments stacked upon each other. Looks like a giant anthill. We've seen such apartments in China, right? People just stacked on top of each other like sardines. And in a way, it's happening everywhere, you know. And they call this quality living, and it's cheap and easy and whatnot, but you're a damn cockroach living in a hive. But anyway, more establishing shots. Then he begins to talk to his AI assistant, and she is scanning for everything in the city. 9,000 cameras confirmed. Confirmed human activity. Most appear to be drones, infected drones. The N5S virus is out of control. So this part is interesting for me because thus far, we're going to see what's not really a human, right? Which is the girl, and the main character is not even human, really. I haven't seen a real human aside from the real ones who were exploring that location wearing the gas masks, right? So it looks like there's mostly drones in this city that are infected. Now, I remember Elon Musk saying that in 2045, there are going to be more robots than people. There are going to be more robots than people. Currently, mechanically, we are not where Elon Musk spoke about. We are not where this story speaks about. But spiritually, we are, because most people are bots already. And that's why I say this thing is really relevant. Most people are bots already. And there are many bots who are infected with all kinds of psyop propaganda, who are going to behave like the bot zombies that you're about to see here. So he is revving it up, going across the whole city, and he encounters the first bots or drones. Some mangled up cyborg human zombie. This is a hunchback. A hunchback might look like you, but he is not you. This is what his spirit looks like. He's jacked, and he sees anybody on a mission, he runs after them. We see our main characters on a mission to purge the city. And these hunchback zombie drones don't want to let that happen. They're not even conscious anymore. They just attack. They just hate. Very applicable to where we are right now. So he then almost runs over what looks to be a human girl, but this is who they're pretty much looking for. And he kind of runs her over and splat. And she's about to get eaten by the zombie drones, and he gets tossed to the side like he's nothing. These zombie drones are totally strong, right? So one is about to devour the girl, but gets her head blown off with the gun. The dude definitely is not human to be thrown through a wall with such force, and like he's just up and at it again. That is not human. Also, this really does show that going forward, bro, being human will not be enough. Being human will not be enough. You got Peter Thiel and his friends trying to go into that transhumanism garbage. It's not going to be enough. Now, when we speak in spiritual language, I myself, as a living conscious being attacked by hunchbacks, I can't really fight the way the hunchback fights because they overwhelm you with numbers, right? So my normal way of resisting them isn't enough anymore. So it's to the point where I'm partially in hiding, right? Because I am overwhelmed by their numbers. So it means each time I step outside, I have to have all my guns loaded and mow them down as much as I can before I go back to, re-ammo. So just think about that, because most people look at these things just from a pure entertainment basis. Did it make me feel excited? The blood and guts. Yeah, so cool, bro. Whoa. That means you're an animal. You gotta look at the message. What is it trying to say? Not how it makes you feel. What is it trying to say? How it makes you feel also somewhat matters, but at the end of the day, what is it trying to say? Right? Resistance as a normal human is going to come to an end sooner than later, right? Everybody in the old days, in the 1900s, thought maybe in 200 years or so, but no, it's somewhat coming a lot sooner. So we got the monsters dead, we got the girl looking like she's dead, but she wakes up and she gets healed. She heals herself, basically, right? Did you see that? Says the AI. Don't move, says a bear. A talking bear. Now, this is what threw me off the most. What is a bear doing? Walking, talking, holding a gun. And what the hell does this bear even eat in a mechanical city living on an earth that is a giant metallic wasteland? Where did this bear come from? I don't understand. Is it maybe enhanced? Did somebody transfer their consciousness into the bear? I have no idea. This threw me off so much. Boy, it really kind of broke my immersion. Like, what is a bear doing here? There shouldn't be any animals left anymore, because it looks like the entire true biodiversity of the planet is gone. Right? So I was thrown off. So the bear says, throw down your weapon and step away from the girl. Looks like the bear knows the girl. Interesting uniform for the public health service. You with a compulsory execution unit? What's the matter? Never seen a bear before? Yeah, bro. In 1,000 years, there ain't gonna be no bears. So yeah, I would be silent too. But the guy says, I am with the TOA industry. They sent me an assignment to protect human life and aid in the purification of the city. A synthetic human, I should have known. So you say, go back, it's too late for purification, get out while you still can. And off they go. Sometimes you gotta admit when it's too late, bro. Live to fight another day type thing. This entire city is overrun by the hunchback zombie drones. So, I mean, it's nice and all and cool that no, I gotta finish the mission. Yeah, but you gotta be smart, right? Work smart, not hard. Anyways, he tries to find him, can't find him, speaks to the AI, says it was a total failure. First, I almost kill her, then she gets away. It's a mess, but look on the bright side, we're ahead of the game. Thanks to that bear, we have her ID. Eon Green, 17 years old, parents deceased. According to her records, she lives alone at her grandfather's place. So the bear's the grandfather. Given how quickly she healed from that collision, she must be an accommodator of the virus. Now, this is the end of the chapter that has been paid for. I did try to read further, but there just isn't enough explanation about how this virus thing works and what she actually is, right? If anything, I'm on a speculative mindset right now as to like what she actually is. I cannot say she's fully human. I don't know how this virus works because a lot of the zombie cyborgs have a lot of mechanical components in them. This girl, when she healed herself, it does look like normal flesh forming itself back up, like these black spots. Looks like the blood itself forming into new flesh. So I don't see any mechanical component in her legs at all. So it's hard to figure out exactly what she is. But one thing is for sure, this thing is interesting, bro. This thing is definitely interesting. Makes me wonder as to like, okay, it was a trend, right, in the 1900s where people were going into the sci-fi realm with the boom of technology going crazy. You had Aldous Huxley writing about Brave New World, right? You had what's that movie's name? Metropolis? It showed a mechanical city and how the people were being exploited. But fast forward to basically from 2015 to now, there has been a lot of return to medieval. Even I am writing a story set in medieval times, really. There isn't much sci-fi series that are fresh and new. It's just recycling of sci-fi series like the new Ghost in the Shell anime. That thing came out in the 90s, and it's all about the science fiction, right? And now they brought it back with a new art style, or art style that is pretty much rooted in what the manga was like. And that's not new, that's just a recycling of something. So what is it about humans right now where they want to go back to medieval simplicity? I know what it is, right? I know what it is. It's because in those times, you could measure time. Let me say that again. In the medieval times, you could measure time. In today's world, you cannot measure time. It's as if we live in a suspension of time, right? When a major event happens, it's as if it didn't happen, right? The repercussions of anything are so quickly washed away from relevance that it's as if it didn't happen. The Iran war that just happened, Ukraine and Russia war that happened. Bruh, COVID, you gotta be joking. Luckily for you, I have created a video that will explain my findings for what I just said about time. Ever since 2020, we became suspended from linear time. Linear time doesn't exist anymore. And subconsciously, because bloody hell was also born in 2021, where I felt, without the conscious awareness, that I am suspended from time. How was time measured back then? Aside from night and day, right? It was through progress. Progress took time, right? Today, progress is instant. And now with AI, it's even more instant. You see? So there is our genes are remembering our ancestors' time when there was time, right? We are yearning for the experience that our ancestors had because we inherited and expected the same experience that is now non-existent. And it's causing this craziness, this acceleration of everything where you just feel like you can't keep up with anything. Like you can't keep up with yourself. You can't keep up with your own emotions. So, yeah, it's crazy out here. But anyway, that's it for this chapter. If you'd like your own chapter review, it's $35. 60 pages or less. And check out the Patreon. We got even more in-depth stuff over there, right? Until next time.